Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl Butler, and you're listening to the Mighty Mommy's Quick and Dirty Tips podcast, which will help make your life as a parent a little bit easier and a lot more fun. Welcome! Today's episode is number 402, 8 Ways to Instill Confidence in Your Toddler because the foundation you lay when they are young really does count. My youngest of 8 is turning 11 years old this weekend. I'm really not one for cliches, but honestly, where does the time go? At one point, I had 4 babies and toddlers in diapers all at once. I barely blinked, and now I have nearly 4 out of college. Raising so many kids close in age, there were many days that were a total whirlwind. Changing diapers and getting kids fed and bathed each day were usually the only goal on my daily to-do list, other than not losing my mind. But even among the daily chaos, I did strive to reach another goal on a regular basis, and that was to start instilling confidence in my kids at a young age, as early as their toddler days, so they would hopefully grow into well-rounded older kids and have a secure sense of self. Well-known pediatrician Dr. William Sears raised 8 children of his own, as well as practiced pediatrics, for over 30 years. In his article, 12 Ways to Raise a Confident Child, he writes, "Self-esteem is your child's passport to a lifetime of mental health and social happiness. It's the foundation of a child's well-being and the key to success as an adult." I couldn't agree more with Dr. Sears' philosophy on self-esteem and a child's overall strong mental well-being. So today, Mighty Mommy shares 8 things that you can teach your toddler and young children now to help his confidence soar over time. Tip number 1, establish good communication skills. Establishing strong communication skills is one of the key elements to laying a strong foundation for your child's future. One way to do this is to let younger kids speak for themselves as often as they can without intervening and speaking for them. So, when a question is asked of them, even when they are young, let them take the lead. For example, if an adult from church or school asks your 3-year-old how they like having a brand new baby sibling, don't jump in and say something like, "Henry, you love having a baby sister, don't you? She's so cute, right?" Instead, let him be as honest as he needs to be. "My baby sister cries too much." Hey, at least he's being allowed to express himself without any fluff. In addition, let your kids do things like order their own choices at a restaurant. The more opportunities that they can be exposed to communicating with other adults and children, the better. They learn they have their own voice. Tip number 2, be realistic with praise early on. It's normal to want to praise your child for all of her accomplishments, small and large, whether it be praising them for a drawing, a strong kick with the soccer ball, or an itty-bitty role in the school play. It's not unusual to be a bit over-exuberant because you want your kid to know he or she is the best there is. What we don't want is to be too over the top so that our compliment and praise don't sound genuine. It's also not necessary to heap praise for something she's supposed to do, like brushing her teeth or feeding the cat. This also applies to a situation that involves you being worried about something your child is doing. For example, if your child is learning to climb up the large set of stairs on the playground slide, don't carry on about how worried you are about him as he makes the big climb. Instead, stand by so you can make sure he's taking the steps as safely as he can and proudly watch him get to the top step. Once he achieves this, you can say something like, "Terrific job! I knew you could do it." Tip number 3, be a positive role model. Toddlers and young children are like little sponges. They soak up everything they hear that their parents and caregivers are saying, even when you least suspect that they're paying attention. Ever catch yourself saying something disparaging aloud like this? "I'm so stupid. I can't believe I forgot to take the chicken out of the freezer to thaw for dinner. It's all my fault that dinner will be so late tonight." Negative self-talk doesn't offer any type of benefit to your children or to yourself. Whatever you model, your child will soak it in and most likely emulate it. So instead of making critical comments about some mistake, turn it around with positive self-talk instead. Well, kids, I forgot to take the chicken out of the freezer this morning, but I did have a chance to sit and have a nice breakfast with you all instead, so tonight we'll grab a pizza or something. Parents generally set the tone for the atmosphere in their home. If you tend to be stressed out and cranky by nature, that only ripples down to your children. If they interact with a calm and steady mom and dad, it in turn shows them that you're enjoying life and makes them act more joyful too, which in turn builds self-esteem and self-confidence. Tip number 4, help them visualize the future. We all have access to a very powerful tool that can help shape a positive outlook on life. The power of visualization. The daily practice of visualizing your dreams and goals as already complete can rapidly accelerate your achievement of those dreams and goals and your ambitions. If kids can envision themselves doing something important or fulfilling when they grow up, they're bound to feel more confident now. So take advantage of any one-on-one time that you spend with your young child, helping him visualize a career or talent that he might like to see come to fruition in the future. For example, maybe your young daughter absolutely loves taking care of her stuffed animals and dolls. You could say, "You really are so caring, and it's obvious you like to make your teddy bear and your dolls feel better when they're sick. Can you picture yourself as a doctor someday?" Maybe she doesn't want to be a doctor, but instead she says, "I want to be a mommy and take care of my own kids when I get older." You know what? Regardless of what her dreams are, focus on the fact that she's thinking of some goals and go from there. We used to do this some nights instead of bedtime stories. It made my kids feel excited and hopeful about the future and got them asking questions about different careers and artistic talents. Tip number 5, make free time a priority. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that children get enough exercise and also have 1 hour per day to unwind, relax, and just have some simple, unstructured, creative playtime. One simple way to gift your growing toddler and young tykes is to afford them as much unstructured playtime as possible. Kids learn social skills through playing games and can let their imaginations soar with pretend playtime and just simple daydreaming. It's our job as parents to see that they get enough downtime to sustain the overzealous amount of commitments and activities that are on most of our calendars throughout the year. For older kids, this unstructured time means unplugging and taking a break from all of today's technology. So start young and get your little ones tuned into the importance of free time. It's a gift that they will hopefully take with them right into adulthood. Number 6, teach emotions. According to Ross Flom, an associate professor of psychology and neuroscience at Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah, developing emotional intelligence is important for your toddler's cognitive and social development and an imperative skill that can help, and that is teaching them to read emotional cues. When our young kids learn to understand emotions, it helps them build empathy among other strong traits. There are endless opportunities throughout the day to help them get a handle on what they're feeling, and it starts with you modeling the words when they're really young. For instance, if your toddler's playing with another child on the playground and his new playmate is running a bit too fast and creams into him by mistake, you can say something simply like, "Oh no, that was just an accident," and label positive emotions as well. If your toddler throws a ball to your dog and Rover wags his tail excitedly and fetches it, you can say, "You just made Rover so happy by playing with him." Taking the time to label emotions with your toddler will help him feel connected, and you'll be laying the groundwork for an empathetic and confident child, and eventually young adult. Tip number 7, teach the magic words. Confident kids are also well-mannered and polite kids. Please and thank you, they are the magic words. And when your kids observe you using them at any given opportunity, they're sure to follow suit. Other phrases you don't want to forget are, may I, excuse me, no thank you, and you're welcome. Children do learn from observing your actions, and often, while you're not even aware that they're doing so, you need to be keeping that in mind. So, how you behave while stuck in a long line at the checkout counter, or when running into a neighbor that you're not particularly fond of, that can lay a positive or negative foundation in your children. So, take the high road and model control and politeness, not frustration and pettiness. And tip number 8, keep laughing. Many times, simple humor can diffuse a tense situation and turn something negative around in just seconds. If our toddler sees us handling chaos and stressful moments with humor, we're teaching them that laughing is important and a wonderful tool to help us through the good times and the bad. So have a sense of humor about yourself. Young kids and teens are drawn to parents who don't take themselves too seriously. And this way, they can learn how to have a sense of humor about themselves as well. So if you burn the cookies that you are baking for your kids, make light of it and tell them that, hey, that batch didn't have enough chocolate chips anyway. So now you're glad you get to have the chance to start over. How do you instill confidence in your young children? Share your thoughts in the comments section at quickanddirtytips.com/mighty-mommy, or you can post your ideas on the Mighty Mommy Facebook page. You can also email me at mommy@quickanddirtytips.com, and please visit my family-friendly boards at pinterest.com/mightymommyqdt. Be sure to sign up for the upcoming Mighty Mommy newsletter, which is going to be chock full of practical advice to make your parenting life easier and more enjoyable. Wishing you and your family a wonderful week. Thanks for listening, and until next time, happy parenting.